All right, guys, we are back. It's a new Conquest, Conquest 13, which means we have new feats that we need to go over. So we have a ton to unpack. I'm going to try and break this down just by sectors because I feel like it's just a lot of information to digest, right? Like there's just too much. Anyway, so we've got all of the sectors all of the feats in Sector 1 that I want to go over, and then I'm going to tell you how I'm double dipping into 2 global feats at the same time, which I'm doing in Sector 1. And we should be good to go. So let's start Sector 1. So we have all these new feats. I am doing the hard path on my own account. I'm doing the hard path on an alt account that only has 1 Galactic Legend, which I will show you some battles from that one later on. But we have all of these global feats, and it is really overwhelming because we're used to seeing only 6. And there are a ton there. A few of them only give you discs. They give you 1 key card and a disc that will let you unlock doing more feats later on. So you really have to be careful about which ones you want to do. I am double dipping on 2 of them, which I'll tell you about later on. But the Sector 1 feats are the ones that I want to really hop into. A few of them are pretty standard. There are a couple of bugs that you need to look out for. One of the Sector 1 feats it says explicitly win 5 battles with no tanks in your squad. You can see it right there. Win 5 battles with no tanks in your squad, unguarded. And then the tally is 0 out of 14. So you actually need to win 14 times. Super straightforward though. You just don't use tanks in your squad. Defeat 50 enemies with bounty hunter units. Also really straightforward. It doesn't have to be a full bounty hunter team. You just have to get the kill with the bounty hunter. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind with that feat, you don't need to win. The defeating bounty hunters, you don't need to win. And you need to inflict blind or attempt to inflict blind 40 times. Again, you don't need to win, which is going to be super easy with Chupio. And then you also need to gain foresight 60 times, which you don't, again, need to win. And the reason why I'm highlighting you don't need to win is because if you purposely lose, don't back out. Again, if you haven't watched my Conquest overview of everything you're forgetting, don't back out. If you back out, you forfeit all progress. If you just lose or time out, you will still get credit towards those feats that don't require you winning, but you don't lose out on any stamina draining from your squad. If you're using any consumables, you don't actually use those consumables up. So in Sector 1, what I like to do right away is just start mashing through it. Like just get to some discs right away. I try to stay on the hard path the entire time if I can. The really great thing that you may or may not have noticed is the hard path is actually marked now. So we can see it, and I will point that out for you once we go back. But you can see the hard path specifically is these like golden brown nodes. So if you stay on those are the ones that lead you towards an extra scavenger node or data disk node. And you can hop off of them, but if you hop off, you can't get back on in the same chunk of the sector that you're in. Once you come to the choke point, which you'll see later on, you're able to get back into those nodes. But if you hop off in the middle, you can't. So again, I just like to hop through. So this is my main account that I'm playing on, and I just go through my Galactic Legends. What I like to do, if you have the squad versatility to do this and the squad depth, is cycle through them. So you can see here that hard path that I was talking about is those gold nodes at the top. And obviously I used Hoda, so I got Foresight once. But I like to cycle through my Galactic Legends at first. The main reason for that being is I don't want to deplete any of their stamina too quickly and too drastically. So if I can cycle through them and I can rotate through my Jedi and my Galactic Republic and First Order, etc., then all of them are going to be at the same stamina level, and I can just keep plowing through my refreshes and keep pushing through the sectors as quickly as possible to get those data discs so that I can circle back and do some of these feats that are a little bit trickier to do without the data discs equipped. So again, I'm just cycling through. I'm just going to, I really want to show you this choke point if I fast forward here a little bit. So again, Kylo's going to come in super handy for these teams. So what I also like to do here, you can see I'm looking at both of the data disk nodes. You can actually look at them earlier on and decide if you want to hop off the path, but you don't need to do that. I choose to stay on. So this is the choke point right here. This is what I mean. So if I had hopped off the path earlier on in the map, once you hit this node, it's kind of where all of the nodes in the chunk of the sector converge together into one. You have to do that battle. There's no choice. You're able to hop back on, and it's where the path switches. So you can see the gold nodes are on the bottom. So once the path switches, you're able to hop back into that hard path that takes you again to the extra nodes. And if you hop off of it, you have to wait for that choke point. So that's pretty much what I like to do on my main account, just to kind of barrel through it. But we did play a little bit on the alt account, and the alt account is 6.2 galactic power. It only has Jedi Master Luke on here. It's not mine, it's Xerath's. But yeah, so we basically on this one don't have as many tools. We've got different tools. So I like to use gas on this just to barrel through the first sector. CLS here is so handy. He's going to barrel through the first sector for you, but he's also going to get you those blind feats because of Chupio. Obviously, the more characters you kill in a team before Chupio has a chance to inflict blind on any of them, the less you'll get. And again, because we're trying to get through the sector, we are depleting our stamina because we're winning. But CLS is a really, really good team to have. If you don't have them, they can punch up, which is really good, especially once you start getting these data discs equipped. You're able to hit above your weight. So we're using that. We're also using Gas 501st, like I said, and then I like to use a Sith mishmash team. And the reason why I try to stick, especially with this Conquest, all of my teams in either light side or dark side, is because we have those two global feats now where we need to win with full light side teams and full dark side teams. So at the same time that I'm making my way through the sector, I'm ticking towards those global feats so that they can just, collect later on. And yeah, so we are going to go in. I like to use that Sith mishmash team, like I said. There is going to be a team that is a mix of light side and dark side because of the global feats that we have to kind of deal with. But it's fine. So again, Sith, just to get through it, I really, really like, especially on the first couple of days, going through as many sectors as far in as you can and getting those data discs. I don't even worry about 3-starring nodes, to be honest with you. I'll come back and clean them up later. So that is that. Let's look at these global feats, because this is actually one of the funnest things for me, at least, with Conquest. So there are 2 global feats that you need to win 20 battles for. So it'll be 40 in total because 20 for each one. The first one is I Want My Armor, which also is bugged if you don't know this, or it's glitched, whatever word you want to use. You need to win with Boba and the Mandalorian on your team, and it explicitly says that. The Mandalorian is actually Beskar armor Mando that you need to win with, and Boba is original Boba Fett, not Sign of Jango Boba. So you need those 2 on your team, which is why you're not going to get a full light side or dark side tick when you're using it, because Bam obviously is light side and Boba's dark side. And then the other one is A New Hope, where you need to have Old Ben and Farm Boy Luke on your team. So, and you need to win. They do not need to live. You just need to win. So I don't know if you saw, I actually went in, because I preached this so many times. I actually went into a Bad Batch node here. So I'm doubling back on my Sector 1. this Bad Batch node specifically does not have over-prepared on it, so it's really easy to just get kills on, especially with a character that can solo. So this is on my own account where I'm going to use Supreme Leader Kylo Ren as my leader. And then Boba, Beskar Armor Mando, Old Ben, and Farm Boy Luke. Again, those 4 do not need to survive, but getting 1 win here counts towards both of those feats at the same time. It's not pretty, which is why I like to go back and do it after I've already 3-starred a node. Because chances are they're not going to survive, especially if your farm boy is like gear 8 or whatever, like mine is. But it works. So I did this about 6 times in a row on my account. I literally just cycled through and kept doing it over and over and over again and depleted stamina, which I'm perfectly okay with doing with one specific galactic legend. If you have more than one galactic legend, you could probably get these 2 feats done within, I want to say 2 days, maybe 3 if you want to stretch it out, but you realistically could hyper focus on these 2 feats and get them done. One of them gives you, I believe it's A New Hope, gives you, it's only 1 key card, but it gives you a data disk that you need in order to complete another global feat. So the reason why I'm going so hard right away for it is to get that disk so I can start working on that other feat. Because the longer I wait, the more chasing I'm going to have to do later on. So again, like I said, I did this about 6 or 7 times, and then I switched accounts, which I don't have footage of, so you're going to have to take my word for this. I switched to Zara's account, used the exact same team except Jedi Master Luke lead, again, on a Bad Batch node that did not have over-prepared, and Jedi Master Luke just solos it, and it does not matter if the other 4 survive or not, you get the tick towards both of those global feats. So if those are 2 feats that you are hoping to get, this is probably the best way to do it. You can do it realistically with any character in the lead that's going to be your solo person. So I know as well people are doing Old Ben and Farm Boy with their CLS team instead. So instead of having both of these feats in one team, they're breaking them apart, which is totally fine if you need to do that. By all means, however you need to get the feat done, get it done. This is just the most efficient way to get these 2 done is by doing them together and just banging it out as quickly as you can, for lack of a better word. Other than that, there are obviously mini boss feats and the boss feats. I haven't completed them yet. I don't know if I'm going to bother with them, especially the mini boss ones, because they're only 2 key cards, and to be perfectly honest with you, they look annoying. On the mini boss, you need to win with or surviving, which my or before filming this was gear 1 and is now gear 11, and I have not managed to get him to survive. So I'm wasting, it could be data discs, I don't have all my discs applied, but I'm wasting energy on a feat that's worth 2 key cards. I might as well clean up a node for 2 key cards instead. So sometimes you just kind of have to look at it that way and see if the feat is actually worth chasing or not. The other one on the mini boss is to win with 3 Jawas on your team. So again, the Jawas don't need to survive. So the one, needs to survive. The Jawas don't need to. So as long as you win, you're good. So I have seen people using Rey, Watt, and 3 Jawas there, and Rey is just soloing it. Anything Jedi Knight Luke lead is working. So anything like that. Again, it's only 2 key cards, so I wouldn't necessarily bang your head against it unless you absolutely needed the 2. But if you can pick up 2 key cards on a node that you didn't 3-star already, I personally would do that. And then you have the boss in Sector 1, which the 2 feats there, again, it's worded properly, but people are getting confused because of the wording with the Mandalorian and the global feat. So in the Sector 1 boss, you need to win with a full team of bounty hunters, and then you need to win with no bounty hunters on your team. And then you need to win with the Mandalorian on your team. It's not Beskar Mando. It is the actual Mandalorian who is a bounty hunter, which is why you have these two feats that are juxtaposed. You need to win without any, so you're not going to get the feat for the Mandalorian being there, and then you need to win with the Mandalorian there, so you wouldn't get the feat for having no bounty hunters on your team. So you have to do the boss twice if you want both feats. Other than that, that's basically Sector 1. If I manage to do the mini boss, I'll probably just upload a really quick video and link it and update this. But again, for 2 key cards, I personally wouldn't stress it. So I'm done Sector 1 on my main. I'm almost done it on Xerath's alt. And we're going to head into Sector 2 tomorrow. And hopefully I'll have more info for you on Sector 2. It seems pretty straightforward. So far, all of this is going well. There are old discs that came back, by the way, if you have not seen them. There obviously are new discs that they've rolled out. I haven't found any of the new discs, but they did bring back Entrenched. They brought back... I've seen a few leaders resolve, which I haven't seen very often, so pretty happy about that. But the fact that they brought back Entrenched is pretty awesome. So that's Sector 1, guys. Thank you. If you have any other team suggestions, I would love to hear it, because obviously my roster is different from everybody else's, so I want to know what everyone else is using. And then we'll do Sector 2 tomorrow. Why not? All right, guys. Have a good one.